Yes, hello. I always thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I'm always happy when I see your comments. My name didn't change, and today I just want to talk about output devices. Output devices as a chapter in theory of ICT for A level. So output devices, if I can put it, an output device is a hardware component that can enable a user to display information or communicate the results of data processed by the CPU to the user. So we see data being shown, being displayed to the user using the output device. An output device display information on a screen, creates printed copies or generates sound. So we can see outputs in 3 copies, either on printed paper or sound, or it can be in a soft copy as well. We have examples of output devices. We have a monitor, we have projectors, we have speakers, we have fax mail machines, the fax, we have printers, among others. Now we can briefly talk about one by one in its order. Let's begin with a monitor. A monitor is sometimes called a visual display unit. A monitor is used to display information to the user through its screen. We have screens at home, dear students, and that one, whatever we see on them is an output in a soft copy form. Monitors are categorized in two types, that is the cathode ray tube and liquid in crystal display. The cathode ray tube, to talk about them, is a glass tube that is narrow at one end and opens a flat screen at the other end. Dear members, if I can put it right to us, like how in the youth speak today, the CRT monitors are these ones which have a big nyash. They have something big behind them, and they are computers which were used long time ago, like in the early 2000s. These CRT monitors had advantages of using them, and one of them could be they had a good quality display. Two, they were cheaper to buy, but I think in these days you cannot get them in the market. You see, giving advantages and disadvantages, whenever disadvantages outweigh the advantages, that you can conclude that that thing is not actually good. So on disadvantages of using CRT monitors, one, they occupy a bigger office desk space. Two, they produce more electromagnetic rays to the user's eye, hence causing the eye strain. Sometimes even my eyes have tried to be reddish brown because I have always used computers always. And problem caused is these CRT monitors. They are heavy. They are bulky to carry from one place to another. The fourth one is they have a relatively higher power consumption rate during the operation. And the last one may be the fifth. During the disposal, they pollute the environment. Because they are too big, and wherever you put them, it can cause a pollution to the environment, and this one affects the environment. Those are the CRT monitors and their output devices. Then briefly we can talk about this LCD. This is liquid crystal display monitors. They are usually flat screens, and they are light to carry. They use liquid plasma or LED, that is light emitting diode, to display data. Laptops use LCD screen fixed with the system unit inside them. By the way, all computers we look at in the current era, the screens are the LCD monitors. We have advantages of using these LCD monitors, and one of them is they are relatively lighter and portable. 2, they are smaller, hence occupy a small disk space. So when you're using them, you can use very many, and they are placed on a table, and when there are many. So in this case, for example, where 10 CRT monitors occupy, 20 LCD monitors can occupy, and that one summarizes it as they occupy less disk space. 3, they have a relatively lower power consumption rate. They don't consume a lot of power when you're using them. Next, which is the 4th, they produce less rays, hence friendly to use, to see using the eyes. Next, and the 6th, they have a relatively higher resolution and hence produce better graphics. And now let us briefly see the disadvantages of using the LCD monitors. Number 1, they are relatively expensive to buy. Number 2, their quality output is slightly lower than the CRT. You see, considering all factors, the other ones being heavy, being bulky, but they have a good image, whereas these ones, their images are not good, the LCD monitors. Members, we are talking about the output devices as a chapter in ICT theory paper 1 for A level. Let us briefly see the factors to consider when choosing a monitor. Number 1, you should consider the screen needed in inches. You see, you can buy a computer, you can buy a laptop when it is too big. Here you must consider the size in inches, 14 inch, 13 inch, 17, depending on what you want. Number 2, display type. You should also consider the display type, e.g. CRT, LCD, OLED, and etc. You should also, number 3, you consider the resolution of the monitor. You also consider the portability of the monitor. Number 5, power consumption rate. Number 6, ergonomics factors, whether adjustable or not. We saw in the first video, I was talking about ergonomics, whereby I talked about it as the safe mode or the usual way how you can use computers in a friendly manner. So you should consider the ergonomics factors, whether the monitor you want to buy is adjustable or not. You should also see the cost of the monitor as number 7. I think I've given the 7 factors that you should consider when you are buying a monitor. Now let us talk about number 2 as an output device, and this is a projector. Projectors. Just like the monitor, projectors are used to provide bigger display on a big surface. It can be a white cloth, it can be a wall, it can be it can be those ones I've mentioned, to a bigger audience. And to summarize this also, work or multimedia is created using presentation programs such as Microsoft PowerPoint and presented in a slideshow. After watching this video, you also see a PowerPoint show that will summarize what I'm talking about. But here I'm trying to explain, to narrow down everything, like what the new curriculum wants, so that students may get exactly what you're talking about. I can give you a note to take carefully. To connect a projector to a monitor, you need a VGA cable. VGA cable, it is video graphics array cable, and people may not know about it clearly, as if I'm having it here. This one, this is what we call a VGA cable. It is having the ends which are the same. One end is put in a computer monitor, and another one is placed in a projector, so that it eases the connection, the communication between the computer and the monitor, which acts as the output device. Again, better display of graphics and quality of the image depends on the VGA cable you are using. Some VGA cables are not good enough to make you see clear images, and others are very perfect. Like the one I'm using is very good, and that is why the resolution is also good as well. Projectors should be protected from power surges, and proper cooling is provided. These projectors, when you use them for so long, they develop in some heat, and this heat can cause the automatic shutdown of it, and you may not achieve what you want. So you should use it limitedly. Another note, monitors and projectors and speakers produce what we call a soft copy output. And this refers to a document that is permanently and physically exists on a paper is called what we term as a hard copy. It is usually created using a printer. So briefly, allow me talk about a soft copy. A soft copy is an output that is displayed by the computer monitor as well as a projector. So that work, that text, those images that are still within the computer, just are displayed on a monitor, just are seen on a projector, is what we call a soft copy. A soft copy is generally stored in the computer memory using electricity. As soon as power is switched off, the soft copy disappears from the screen, and only the computer hardware can be seen. So I can briefly in this talk about advantages of using soft copy outputs, so that you may get them clearly from me. Number one, a soft copy can be passworded or can be protected to prevent unauthorized access. This means not everybody should see your work. Not everybody should modify your work. So the soft copy, it is very simple for you to password it, to prevent it actually from being seen by anyone. So anybody to see it must have permission from you, and this one summarizes the good part of using the soft copy. Number two, it occupies a small space of the computer memory compared to if it was on papers. I sometimes visit offices, the wrong fashioned offices. You find very many files are piled. There are too many for you to see and handle. But these days, the modernized offices have just a simple computer, a laptop, and is having all the data for the employees. So the soft copy occupies a small space of the computer memory compared to if it was on papers. Number three, it is easily transferable, e.g., through emails, Bluetooth, Facebook, and WhatsApp. So teaching and learning these days has turned out to be very simple and very good. And I'm also appreciating the technology that is being used. It is very simple for me to share my notes, to share my texts, to share my work with my students, even when I'm not there, through these, I may put it right, through this WhatsApp, this Facebook, this Zoom, and etc., meaning the studying and learning is very simple, so I can share the soft copies always. Compared to earlier, when only knowledge would be got from the library. I appreciate people who study a long time. Surely you are making it. Number 4, may easily be backed up on temporary or permanent storage devices for future reference. You know, it is very simple for me to get this work that to get what I'm telling you now, to put it on a flash, I put it on a memory card, I put it on a local disk, I put it anywhere on a hard disk and etc. And this one brings it to me that a soft copy may easily be backed up. But if it was a hard copy, you know, writing 2 pages, 3 pages is a bit challenging. Next, which is number 5, as the advantage of using soft copy, it can easily be edited. Yeah, it can be easily edited and formatted, even updated. Next, it is easily accessed from the database using such tools. You can use such tools to obtain your work from anywhere you need. Then the last one, it is free from external weather effects such as dust, mud. Therefore, the soft copy is neat. But something which is good can be having the disadvantages. Now, briefly, let me pass through the disadvantages of using soft copy. It can easily be forged, especially with impersonation. You see, this video, you can modify it. If it was text, you could try to add in your things. So, meaning the soft copy part can be easily forged. Somebody can put what they want. What you are hearing is my personal research, is my work that I have researched, and I'm telling you. So you cannot modify this. Number 2, can only be accessed in the presence of power. Meaning, if there is no electricity, forget about studying or reading. In the case of attacks by computer viruses, data loss may be caused. And this is also a big disadvantage of using a soft copy. It also requires user to have computing skills to work on a soft copy. So the 4 disadvantages, I've just given them to you as to why a soft copy shouldn't be used. Now, briefly, let me talk about what we call a hard copy. A hard copy, members, it is a printed work on a piece of paper or plastic. To convert a hard copy document back to soft copy, you need to use a scanner. A scanner only does it for us to have a hard copy back to the soft copy. And briefly, let me also talk about advantages of using hard copy. It is usually accessible even in the absence of electricity, and that is number 1. Number 2, it can easily be used in rural areas without power. By the way, also this video may be applicable to summarize the output devices for you people who are in the rural areas, because information is always available on ChatGPT, on Google, and everywhere for people who are in the towns and who probably use what we call internet. But you who doesn't have it in your school, you can download this video. Whenever you reach on the output devices, you can play it and listen. You can get something. Number 3, they are free from attacks by computer viruses. Once you have your work on a paper, you have it, though there are also some disadvantages like we shall see. Next, can hardly be forged like soft copy output. So once you have your work, you have it. Nobody can forge it. And the last one, they require no special computer skills. Once you have it, and that is it all. So among the disadvantages of using hard copy, it occupies a bigger storage space in the room or office. I told you from the beginning, I visited some offices. Whenever I reach there, I simply hold it personal. Number two, it is less transferable from one place to another compared to a soft copy. If you are to relocate from that office and you are going to another office, it becomes a challenge. It becomes a problem to you to remove those hard copies from there. But when you have your soft copy, you can move immediately. Number three, it takes more time to access it from big offices. So members, if the office is very big, it becomes a challenge. It becomes a disturbing thing to access all that work one by one. Otherwise, you would use a projector. You would use a database to access the data. We are looking at situations when a hard copy document may be required. Number one, for physical data storages. Number two, when one wants to sign a document physically to computer illiterate, eye strains or no power surges may be seen. The third thing, when one wants to read the document away from the computer, these are the situations when a hard copy document may be required to be used than a soft copy. I have seen some questions in UNEB that come and ask you to outline the situations when a hard copy document is required, and the three I have given you can summarize it all. Now, we have gone as far as the third output device as the speakers. Members and dear listeners, this video may tend to be too long for you, but please be persistent enough to listen. It will just explain to you the different concepts, the real analytics of the output devices. Now we have gone as far as the third, called the speakers. And this one, before I can explain it, my students normally get challenges. They normally get problems between a speaker and a microphone. They call a microphone a speaker, and they call a speaker a microphone. But this video allow me show you the microphone, and I show you the speaker as well. This one is a microphone, and we have seen it in some video. I talked about input devices, and I was referring to this microphone. This one is not a speaker, and I also have some speaker with me here. I can get it and maybe show it to you. This is a speaker, and this is what I'm talking about as the third output device. So let me proceed with my video. By the use of audio cards, speakers are able to generate and produce sound output, hence conveying information to the user. Some computers have inbuilt speakers. External speakers may be connected in case loud speaking for output is required. Speakers can be wired, can be wireless, depending on the user's choice. And speakers may include woofers, headphones, also have some lip and etc. But here I'm trying to show you how we get information from the computer. And maybe that summarizes it, or I may not have much talk about the speakers, and that one gives you a clear highlight, a clear view. A speaker gets information out from the computer, and the microphone puts information in the computer, which can be processed by the amplifier, and is amplified. It is seen using the speaker. Now let us talk about number 4. We may spend some time here on output devices, and number 4 as the printer, and this could be the last part of it. A printer is a device that is designed to convert a soft copy document into a hard copy document. Is a device that is designed to convert a hard copy that is designed to convert a soft copy document into a hard copy document. Printers may be wired or wireless, depending on the user's choice. Printer drives are installed in a computer so as a printer can communicate with the computer. I repeat, printer drivers are installed in the computer so as a printer can communicate with the computer. Let us briefly talk about the types of printers. We have impact printers and non-impact printers. Impact printers are those printers that produce hard copy documents by physically placing their print heads onto the paper. As a result, they are always noisy in their operations. Examples include dot matrix printers, daisy wheel printers, and also braille printers, among others. Characteristics of impact printers, if I can talk about them: number 1, they are noisy in their operation. Number 2, they can work well even in dusty environments. Number 3, they are slow in operations. Next, their print quality is relatively poor. They commonly print black and white outputs. So we are looking at characteristics, and let me take an assumption that you have just gotten them very well. Then now let us talk about what we call non-impact printers. These are printers that produce hard copy documents without physically striking the paper. They instead use ink or liquid or powdered ink, or they use a laser beam of light to scan and put the image on the paper. I repeat, they use ink or liquid powdered ink, or use a beam of light to scan and put the image on the paper. The ink is contained in the cartridge, and refilling ink cartridges is better practice rather than buying new cartridges. And examples of non-impact printers include LaserJet. And this LaserJet uses scanning technology. Number 2, we have inkjet printer. It sprinkles ink drops one by one on a paper. We have next as number 3, and they are thermal printers. And this uses chemically treated paper characters, and characters are formed as a result of heat when exposed to light or raw temperatures. And when the temperature is low, the document fades out. And now let me give a note in this so that it may summarize these printers. To produce printout on a very big papers or plastics or posters or geographical maps, architectural drawings, and very, very big things, a plotter may be used. A plotter also is a printer that prints out very big pictures. So people who stay in the towns, you have seen how people advertise their businesses using some posters displayed like in the town, and when they are very big. The printers that are responsible to do that are called the plotters. Even the people who normally contest, I normally see their pictures when they are very big. The printers that do that one they are plotters. And the next thing, mobile printers are small and light to carry and produce small printouts, e.g. receipts from supermarkets, bus tickets. Those are mobile printers. People who have traveled, you can witness how you can get your receipt. That small thing is a printer. Next note, malfunction printers perform a variety of functionalities, e.g. the same printer can scan, can photocopy, can as well do the two while printing. Then, to summarize all members, I have some questions to prove that you have listened to what I've been saying. And my first question is, distinguish between impact printers and non-impact printers. Number 2, outline 5 factors to consider when you are choosing a printer to buy. Number 3, outline any 3 advantages of using non-impact printers over impact printers. And this one summarizes it all for output devices. It will be followed. This video will be followed by a PowerPoint presentation that talks about what I have been explaining. Members, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and give a comment. You know, we learn from each other. I believe knowledge shared is knowledge gained. I thank you for listening, and allow me to stop here and wish you the best of the day. See you then. Blessings.